How's it going, everybody? It's your boy Night Owl. We're gonna be watching another Overlord DVD video. This one pertains to Kathleen Kennedy and pretty much what's going on at Lucasfilm. Today is supposedly her last day on the job, but she's also being replaced by another fucking super Karen and then Dave Filoni on top of that. So, we'll see what Doomcock has to say.
My friends, this is a great time to become a channel member. Every week now I'm posting uncensored videos exclusively for my channel members, along with custom emojis and live streams for members at the Arch Villain level where you get to talk to me directly. Please consider supporting this channel by clicking the link in the video description and joining us in our fight to save pop culture. And also, check out our Patreon and Subscribestar pages for exclusive content you won't find anywhere else, including Harvey Cthulhu's insane podcasts, photos of my vast toy collection, and members at the Legionnaire level receive a signed photo, membership card, and certificate signed by me. You'll find the Patreon link in the video description as well. Thanks for watching, my friends, and now on to the video. Greetings, my friends. I am Dictor Van Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth, broadcasting from my hidden base at the center of the Earth, and I stand before you today to acknowledge a milestone in the history of pop culture. Indeed, yesterday marked two mind-blowing milestones that are linked to this channel in an eerie way that strongly suggests that the universe has a sense of humor, or a sense of irony at the very least, and that two nightmares for fans may be drawing to an end at exactly the same time. These are red-letter days we're living, my friends. The kind of day where Obi-Wan Kenobi leans back against a control panel, staggered, because he feels a great disturbance in the Force. This channel has been fighting to save pop culture for 8 years now, and in that 8 years we've seen a lot of franchises ruined, despoiled if not destroyed, and yet, these last few months, we've seen flickers of a hint of a pulse in some geek myths we thought long dead. There are persistent rumors, for example, that Skydance is ready to take a stab at saving Star Trek, decanonizing No Trek and returning to Enterprise as a reset point to restore canon. And last week, a rumor appeared that big changes were coming to Lucasfilm as well. Now we see that fate is tying threads together at an accelerating pace. To be honest, there's so much happening right now, it's difficult to even know where to begin, and so I'll begin at the beginning, I suppose. Yesterday, two things happened which blew my mind. Paramount released the first episode of Starfleet Academy on YouTube for free, leaving the comments section on, and these actions made it painfully clear just how much damage has been done to the Star Trek franchise, concrete evidence that Skydance cannot ignore. It seems pretty clear this is Secret Hideout's swan song, their final failure, and it heralds a major reset is coming for Star Trek. I'll have more info on this in another video. I have a lot to say about that particular disaster or miracle.
I'm gonna be totally real. I don't give a fuck about Star Trek. Never have, never will. It just was never entertaining to me. I've watched a lot of it, to be totally fair. Like I watched the newer movies with what was that, Chris Pine, and then I watched a lot of the ones with Picard in it, and the original Shatner series too. I watched some of that and just never really got into it. Like some of it was cool, but like it was never Star Wars to me, you know. But I guess that was just my bias because like, you know, Star Wars landed in front of my eyes before Star Trek ever did.
Depending on your point of view, but the thing that really blew my mind, folks, is the same day that Secret Hideout publicly shit the bed with what looks like a final humiliating failure that more likely than not will seal their fate. It was announced late in the day that Kathleen Kennedy is stepping down as president of Lucasfilm, that this is her final week in the chair, and that means today is Kathleen Kennedy's last day at Lucasfilm.
This is really weird, dude. Like, this is Twilight Zone shit. You started this channel in 2017 because Star Trek Discovery was so god awful you literally couldn't stand it. And then shortly thereafter, The Last Jedi hit, so you started up right around the time everything in pop culture started going to shit. Star Trek and Star Wars were self destructing, and now on the same day, it looks like they're both getting resets. Maybe they're both getting a little bit of a ghost of a second chance.
Well, I strongly suspect that Star Trek is getting some kind of major reset, Harvey Cthulhu. You can't put out an episode of a new Star Trek show released for free on YouTube, have it get 18,000 views in 12 hours with only 1.4 thousand likes, and think that there will not be consequences. And on the same day, Secret Hideout essentially self-destructs publicly. Kennedy announces she's officially stepping down, that today is her last day. She remains defiant in her exit interviews, still blaming fans, claiming she wouldn't change a single
Cringe every time I see pictures of this fucking woman, man. She's got those crazy fucking like dead Karen eyes, man. Like ugh.
decision she made as president of Lucasfilm, holding her head high as she walks away from Dave Filoni, leaving him behind to clean up the smoking rubble. The rumor her exit from Lucasfilm was coming hit last week, and the changing of the guard explains a lot of the changes going on behind the scenes at Lucasfilm over the past month. Many of you are saying, well, shit. Dave Filoni's taking over creative now, and he's just Kennedy's yes man. Nothing's going to change. And yet, watchful eyes realize we're already seeing changes, even before she's out the door. Just a few weeks ago, the rumor started circulating that Disney was getting ready to release the original cut of Star Wars theatrically, unedited and restored.
I'm honestly excited about this. I have never seen the original theatrical run. I've only ever seen from the I think it was like the 1990 like 3 like VHS re-releases where they had like the big box set with like the half-face graphics of like Darth Vader, Yoda and like the Stormtrooper. And the whole tapes were like 3 hours long because like the movies themselves were like 2 hours long, and then there was this long ass interview with George Lucas at the beginning of each tape. But I've never seen the original theatrical version.
This, when viewed alone, could simply be an aberration, a smart business decision that will surely boost Disney's bottom line, and yet, just a few days ago, we got word that real Star Wars is coming at last to Galaxy's
I've been calling this for so fucking long too. I really wish that I could like get my friends to come on and just like back me up on how long I've been like saying all this shit, man. Like, it's so gratifying to see some of just the things that you've been calling out for happening.
Edge. Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Leia Organa, all these characters will be roaming through the Galaxy's Edge attraction at Disney World to the familiar strains of John Williams' classic score. The Cantina Band will be serenading visitors to the bar there. All of these were moves opposed by Kennedy, who strongly pushed for the sequel trilogy characters to dominate the theme park. Rey, Kylo, the Porgs, which failed in its own way, just as the Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel, based on the sequel trilogy, went down in spectacular flames after only 18 months. And yet,
You know what's wild too is like I frequent the parks a lot. Me and my wife we have the passes. We go with the kids like every so often. And every time I've gone to Galaxy's Edge, I have never seen a sequel character. Like ever. Like I see Mando, I've caught like a glimpse of Ahsoka like once, and I've seen like the droids that they had, but I've never seen Kylo. I've never seen the First Order stormtroopers. Haven't seen Finn or Ray, Chewie's there, but like he's everywhere, so like you can't really count him as like one specific saga's character. But yeah, like this is a long time coming. This is gonna boost a lot of activity. Like literally, all people want to see are these characters.
The release of the original Star Wars, the original characters entering Galaxy's Edge for the first time, when taken together, strongly suggest a fundamental shift back towards the original trilogy roots of Star Wars under Filoni's leadership. Now, some may claim that Filoni was a yes man under Kennedy, but if that's true, it still begs the question, what happens when a yes man no longer has anyone he has to say yes to? What happens when he's his own man and can follow his own heart? I don't want to be overly optimistic or Pollyanna-ish, my friends. I ain't no little doomcock sunshine. The damage done to this franchise is staggering. After The Farce Awakens, The Last Jedi, Ruse of Soywoker, Solo, Kenobi, Book of Boba Fett, The Acolyte, on and on and on. It's been a long, rough road for fans, that's for sure, but it appears that the long national nightmare is drawing to an end. There would be jubilation and dancing in the streets if not for the smoking ruins she's leaving behind. And yet, my friends, I would point out these few rays of sunshine bursting through the clouds, shining down on the ruins. I am merely pointing out that it is possible, however unlikely, that they know their weaknesses now and will stop exploiting them.
And to be fair, Kathleen Kennedy had an incredible career before Star Wars, working on legendary movies like Raiders, E.T., Back to the Future, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and even under her tenure over Disney.
Well, that's why everybody hates her. Like, to be honest, because we know she has a good track record of making good movies. We know she knows how to make good movies. She was fucking trained by George Lucas himself, for God's fucking sake. She knows what Star Wars is supposed to be. She's just a hateful fucking bitch that wanted to ruin everything. And ruined it, she did. That's why people hate her, because we know she did it on purpose.
Disney Star Wars, Rogue One, Andor, and parts of Skeleton Crew were pretty damn good.
Yeah, I have to agree. Give credit where credit is due. George Lucas trusted Kennedy with Star Wars for a reason, but it seems clear she had other ideas of her own. I think if she had tried to keep the feel of Star Wars as it was under George Lucas, instead of trying to change the audience to accept her female centric vision of Star Wars, she would have found more success along the way. Kennedy remains defiant in recent interviews, sticking by her guns and not expressing any regrets. She claimed that she wouldn't change a single decision she made, and as for how fans reacted to Star Wars under her control, in a Deadline article, here's what she said. The lows are that you've got a very, very small percentage of the fan base that has enormous expectations and
It's like every single fucking one of us is why Star Wars is to make any money.
basically, they want to continue to see pretty much the same thing. And if you're not going to do that, then you know going in that you're going to disappoint them. I'm not sure there's anything you can do about that because you can't please everybody. Hollywood in general needs to learn the lesson. You're better off selling customers what they want, not what you want them to want. And when the customer clearly rejects your product, it's terrible business to blame the customer for their choice. Remember the old adage, the customer is always right? Calling us all bigots and toxic and istophobes, telling us this wasn't meant for us, insulting the audience and blaming us for box office and ratings failures is always a mistake. Because when you tell the old fans, this isn't your Star Wars anymore, the old fans believe you, and they stop being fans and they go away. Sometimes quietly, sometimes angrily, depending on their nature, but it's never good for the company or the franchise. Star Wars.
The second you abandon your original fan base, you're dooming the franchise to failure. Like the people who make the franchise are the people who sustain it, right? So like all of the people who grew up on Star Wars who were alienated by these practices of Kathleen Kennedy's are the people who was supporting it the whole time. We were the people that was being bullied at school for liking Star Wars. All the girls would be like, "Ew, you like Star Wars? You're a nerd." People, like, even the jocks would fucking laugh at you, like, like, and now everybody's like, "Oh, I always like Star Wars. Star Wars is so cool because it's a Disney IP, and everybody's a fucking bandwagon fan." But yeah, like, I could go on and just spite all of these fucking people, but just the case in point is you've left behind your actual fan base. Like, all the bandwagon fans are few compared to the actual honest to God Star Wars fans.
Wars was never meant to be a politicized platform, it was meant to be entertainment. It was a part of our cultural fabric when Disney acquired it, and that kind of fabric is impossible to unravel without destroying it. At this point, I don't know if Star Wars still has some life in it, but there are some positive signs, my friends, that Star Wars, real Star Wars, is coming back. It's returning in small ways at the moment, but the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry.
I won't add anymore. I'll just go on for fucking ever about how much I despise people for ruining the things that brought me joy in life. I will never forgive Disney, never forgive Kathleen Kennedy, all the fucking bitch ass actors and actresses. Fuck you, Pedro Pascal, for getting up there and co opting something that made me who I fucking am and told me to just swallow it or shut the fuck up. Like, I hope sincerely that the franchise makes a giant, successful, monumental turnaround without you fucking people. The second the success shows, everybody's gonna come flocking back to it, and it's gonna be fucking hilarious and pitiful at the same time to watch.